I love watching major league debuts. It just is. It's a special moment in a player's career. You know they're nervous. They've worked their whole life to get to this point, and it's always great to watch a major league debut of a player. Sometimes they do well, and sometimes they implode. Tonight was Edward Cabrera's major league debut as a pitcher for the Marlins. What made me tune into this particular game was Don Mattingly's remarks that he has a special arm. Now, the reason I say that is because last year Don Mattingly, when he was referring to Sixto Lezcano, who was their number one prospect, basically said he didn't have a place in the rotation. He would have to earn it. And so he was very, very downplaying of Sixto Lezcano last year. And this year, he took the opposite approach when it came to Edward Cabrera. He said he has an electric arm, he's special, and I can't wait to see this kid. That, to me, is a head turner when it comes to a manager who usually downplays situations. So I tuned in tonight to Edward Cabrera's major league debut, and from the first pitch, I absolutely saw the electric arm. The tail on his ball he has a great fastball, 96 to 98 consistently. He gets over 100 miles an hour sometimes. His first pitch was a 96 mile an hour strike. The first 8 pitches he threw were strikes. He wound up going 6 innings. He wound up through 6 innings. He had 57 pitches, and he was on his way to a Maddux game. A Maddux game is basically a complete game with under 100 pitches. Not done very often. Greg Maddux was notorious for throwing complete games like that. I think he had 13 in his career. Nobody else in the majors ever had more than 7. And Edward Cabrera was on his way to throwing one in his first outing in the major leagues. He looked spectacular. He looked poised. He just looked very, very good the first inning. Juan Soto came up, the third batter overall, and I really wanted to see how he would do against Juan Soto. Obviously, one of the best hitters in the league. And Soto took a couple strikes that he just didn't seem comfortable with, and he wound up getting Juan Soto to ground into a double play, not in the first inning, but his next time at bat, and actually got Soto out 3 times. So what made me really appreciate this kid is that anytime anybody got on base, and he walked no batters through 6 innings. Through 5 innings, and then he turned 3 double plays. So he faced only 1 batter above the minimum through 6 innings. He wound up getting a leadoff walk in the 7th, and then went 2 strikes on Josh Bell, and threw a changeup a little high, and Josh Bell cleared the fence just barely with a home run. And you saw, like I said, him bear down after that. And what I really liked about him tonight was his ability to kind of put that out of his head and come back even stronger versus the next batter. He wound up getting 2 strikes on the next batter and threw the same changeup, what wound up to be back-to-back home runs. So his box score didn't look spectacular, but that was a spectacular major league debut for Edwin Cabrera tonight, and obviously the Marlins fans appreciate it. They gave him a standing ovation on the way out. That there's not many times that you go 6 and a third, 6 and 2/3, give up 3 runs, and you get a standing ovation. But tonight, Edwin Cabrera got that standing ovation. I believe he's going to be around for a little bit. They're talking about when Trevor Rogers comes back that he'd be going back down. I think he did enough tonight to impress. And what impressed me the most was his body language throughout the whole game. It was veteran-like, and like I said, anytime you got somebody on base, you got out of it with a double play. They turned 3 double plays tonight, and every single time the team kind of rallied around him and made him, it just became actually like, what's going on here? This kid is really good, and he got something special here. So the box score doesn't really relate how well Edwin Cabrera did tonight. And like I said, looking at it I'd say out of the 60 some odd pitches he threw, I'd say he threw 67 pitches, 68 pitches. 64 of them was spectacular. He led up that leadoff walk, like I said, in the 7th, and followed by back-to-back home runs. I believe Don Mattingly did the right thing. Basically, when the telecast started, they said there was no restrictions on this kid, which is great to hear. He didn't really need restrictions. His pitch count was I mean, it was spectacular. I don't see many major leaguers getting 57 pitches through 60 innings. He was spectacular. I would have loved to see him go a little bit, 7 or possibly 8 innings. But it wasn't the pitch count that did him in, and it really wasn't his performance. It was just he threw a spectacular game, and the length that he went was 6 2/3. I give Don Mattingly a lot of credit because it was a 2-0 game at the time. Giving up back-to-back home runs, he kept him in. He didn't take him out right after that. He let him face the next batter, and then he walked him. And like I said, that was time to take him out. But it was the exact right time to take him out. I wouldn't have taken him out before, and I wouldn't have let him go any further. So got to give Mattingly a lot of credit. He handled this kid very well tonight. And I really feel Mattingly believes in this kid. I think he likes him. I think Marlin's going to have a spectacular staff. You look at Sandy Alcantara, Trevor Rogers, Pablo Lopez, this kid. They have Loaiza Hernandez coming back, Sixto Lezcano. I mean, they just have absolutely awesome staff, Marlins, and they're going to be very, very entertaining to watch. I love watching good pitching. Good pitching, you tune into a game because of pitches. I mean, that's when I'm looking to watch a game, I'm looking for a good pitching matchup, and I believe the Marlins staff is like I said, one of the best out there. I'm really interested in watching the Brewers. Brewers have obviously we know the Brewers have a tremendous staff, and I think come playoff time, that staff is really gonna show how good they actually are. One thing about the Brewers is, as a side note, they have a spectacular road record this year, and that is very, very indicative of teams that go far into the playoffs. So just keep that in mind about the Brewers. Good pitching doing very, very well on the road. It's just a great combination. So I love Major League debuts. I just wanted to give this information about Edward Cabrera's Major League debut tonight. Coming up in the minors, this year he had 3.3 ERA, 60 innings, 92 strikeouts. So you can see he was doing very, very, very well. And like I said, I believe they're very high on him also. So I'm looking forward to watching Edward Cabrera on the Marlins staff for some time to come.